Power is the ability to influence, control, or direct people, events, or circumstances to achieve desired outcomes. Power itself, in and of itself, is not evil. It is people who are evil. Power and money amplifies what you really are.
This is the book that we're going to have a commentary on.
In the 13th century, there lived a general by the name Muhammad, who was just a Shah of an empire called the Khwarezm Empire. He was a very powerful general, and his power was so great that history says that he was able to mobilize over 200,000 soldiers if needed be in a few days. On the other side of this kingdom, which is in Turkey, the present day Turkey, on this other side, there was another general called Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan was a very small version of Muhammad. As a matter of fact, he was just an uprising general who was making exploits in his conquering. So Genghis Khan wanted to build a Silk Road leading to Europe, and so he thought that he would approach Muhammad and offer him a deal so that they can build this road together and both benefit with this road that leads to Europe. So first he sent envoys, or he sent ambassadors to Muhammad to go and just talk to him about this road. When the guys reached to where Genghis Khan, when Genghis Khan's people reached to Muhammad, he laughed at them. He actually ignored them and wondered who was this small general who was sending people to come and offer me a deal. And so he ignored them. The guys went back to Genghis Khan and told them that Muhammad had ignored them. So he thought it was a mistake. No, he decided to try again. So in the second try, he sent his ambassadors with gifts. I think camels with treasures, so that he can go and offer this piece to this guy. Before Genghis Khan's guys reached Muhammad, they reached a place that was governed by a guy called Inalchik. And Inalchik intercepted these people, and he killed one of the ambassadors, and he shaved the heads of the rest of the people, of two other ambassadors, and sent them back. In that Mongol Empire, this was a very great or very huge insult. So when Genghis Khan had word that of what had happened to the ambassadors he'd sent, he thought it was a mistake. He thought that since it was Inalchik who did this, he thought Inalchik did this without Muhammad's blessing, and so he decided to try again. So he sent other envoys to Muhammad and requested that Muhammad takes action against Inalchik, who had executed one of his ambassadors. So these guys went to Muhammad, and Muhammad saw them, and he killed them in his refusal of taking the offer from Genghis Khan. When Genghis Khan heard what had happened, he was infuriated, and he sent a message to Muhammad telling him, "You have chosen war. What will happen, and only God knows the outcome." And so within a year, Genghis Khan began attacking. He first attacked Inalchik, the governor, and he made sure he captured he captured where Inalchik was leading, overthrew it, and killed Inalchik by pouring molten silver in his eyes and in his ears, and he died. Several years later, Genghis Khan conquered and beat Muhammad. In fact, Muhammad ran away, and when he ran away, he died a few years later or a few days later. Genghis Khan became the sole ruler of this particular empire, and he built that road that he wanted to build initially. Yes.
Genghis Khan and Muhammad.
Yeah.
Law 19, know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. There are many kinds of different people in the world, and you can never assume that everyone will react to your strategies in the same way. Deceive or outmaneuver some people, and they will spend the rest of their lives seeking revenge. They are wolves in lamb's clothing. Choose your victims and opponents carefully. Then never offend or deceive the wrong person. Venye wamesema, they are wolves in lamb's clothing. Maybe someone is masquerading to be a good person. Na mimi nimeinvestigate, maybe nimeuliza, Tony, nani anakuanga aje? Nikamwambia anakuanga tu msefiti. Then maybe I offend them without knowing. Tupate ni lion, simba, marara.
If you are really interested in people and how people behave, it is not difficult to tell.
Really?
It is not really difficult to tell types of people based on their personalities, regardless of how much they hide.
Yeah.
Personally, I endeavor to know who I am dealing with. That is my first assignment. When I'm dealing with someone, I always want to know who they are. I always want to know if there is a chink in their armor. I do some research about them. So that when I'm meeting this person, I'm not just meeting them like that.
Yeah, not blindly.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Because if you offend the wrong person, you're going to be in for it.
They'll spend the rest of their lives.
Yes.
Like revenge is... reminds me of a comment we saw on TikTok. Ati mimi ile revenge inapanga hata shetani atanikata.
Kuna mjamaa TikTok alisema anapanga revenge shetani inamkataa. Nikamwambia a eye for an eye makes everyone blind. Akaniambia I want to be blind.
That one is a focused person.
Yes, he's super focused on revenge.
Whoever wronged him offended the wrong person.
Yes. There are people, if you offend, they will do everything in their power. They will do everything in this world to ensure that they deal with you. They will actually deal with you.
Perpendicularly.
They will deal with you sacaphoniously.
What? This is where the name Otieno shines.
Yes. He'll deal with you sacaphoniously.
Perpendicularly.
Yes.
But imagine revenging is so much. I don't know. I find it too exhausting. Like, let's say you get offended. Now, when Robert Greene has read it, the rest of your life, that's a long time to plan to revenge on someone. So you just let them be. Sini sawa.
Yeah.
So many wrong. Sini sawa. You still go.
Revenge, there are people who would never settle.
Hey, and they take their time to plan this thing.
Yes, they take their time to plan. And I think revenge takes a lot of work.
A lot.
It requires a lot of work in the person who is planning this revenge. First of all, it affects you emotionally.
Yeah.
Because you have to be very offended to sit down.
To plan.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I think you give the person who you want to revenge against a lot of rent-free living in your mind.
Yeah.
You put them in your mind and they live there
and in your heart. Unamwona di unasikia tu.
Yes.
Wewe ile siku.
There are guys who are like that. There are people who are out there for revenge.
Just vengeful.
They are vengeful, and I'm telling you, they will not stop at anything if you offend them.
Yeah.
Just know who you're dealing with. You have to be very careful. There are people who have nothing to lose.
When they revenge.
Let me give you a story of something that happened some years back.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a police officer or it was a person who had a license. I think it was a person who had a licensed firearm. And this guy, I think he was driving along Mombasa Road. And the way you see guys in Guyana and block each other in traffic and all those things, this guy was going to commit suicide.
What?
Yeah. That was, he
was driving along
He was
Mombasa.
driving to go to a certain place and unalive himself.
What?
So along Mombasa Road, because there was a note, I think he left. Along Mombasa Road, the way guys block each other when... So this guy was getting angry because there was a guy who was constantly blocking him.
Yeah.
Alikuwa tu anakama na block.
Yeah.
So I think this guy blocked him and then insulted him. So what this guy did, he slowed down and let the guy who had insulted him lead.
Yeah.
And he started following him.
No.
Akamfuata past Mlolongo, akamfuata Athi River.
Stop.
Yes, anamfuata sasa.
This guy was determined.
Then they went into a petrol station. When they went into a petrol station, this guy alighted his car.
The one who was going...
Yes, he alighted from his car with a gun, went to the guy who had insulted him, shot him like 7 times.
What?
Yes, got into his car and continued his journey, went to a place and unalived himself.
What?
Yes. There are people who will go to
7
that
times.
Extent. Yes. He killed him on the spot. This guy just died because of...
blocking and insulting.
Yes. Choosing the wrong people to offend. You know, you don't know who you're dealing with.
Fact.
Yes. And if you see people, especially, I'll tell you this. The guys who keep... If you find someone on the road and they're constantly, unajua mimi ni nani? Hao ndio waoga wasio. Hao ndio waoga wa mwisho. The loudest.
Nitakuonyesha.
Yeah, the loudest. Maybe, and they shout. You see, the reason why they have to elevate their voices or to bring their voices up is to try and scare you.
Yeah.
Those are the people who can do nothing.
Nothing.
Yes.
Nothing, just a cockroach.
Yes, they just shout. If you attack them kidogo, you will see that they cannot back it up.
They're shaking.
Yeah.
Shaking,
So
like...
be very careful about who you don't know everyone.
And there's a common saying that when you wake up in the morning, once you step on someone, be sure to apologize because you don't know what this person is dealing with. For example, now this driver who was blocking this other guy, person X and person Y. Yeah. Why did not know X has a gun?
Yes, and X actually wanted to die. And he had nothing to live for.
Nothing. So
he decided to die with the guy.
Yeah, kesi yake ilisha hivyo. Because you cannot convict me, I'm dead. He's dead. Yes. He's dead.
And he was at the end of his life.
Oh my
He was at the end of his life.
I've never heard of that story.
I want to tell guys, especially guys who do a lot of road rage. There's a lot of road rage in our roads.
Yeah.
And everyone insulting each other, everyone blocking each other's way. It is not worth it. Come to think of it, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
You better let that person pass you. Let him pass you.
Watch it.
There are people who are indisciplined on this road.
Yeah.
You don't know what someone is going through. Maybe someone wants to analyze themselves. Maybe that they have nothing to live for. And they're looking for something to vent out at.
Yeah.
And they will deal with you.
This guy had 7 bullets.
Yes.
And an extra one, because I'm assuming he also unalived himself with the same gun.
Yes. The murder was unrelated. This guy didn't know this guy.
Total stranger.
Yes. Total stranger.
Oh,
don't go around insulting people. Don't go around offending people because you do not know who you're dealing with.
You see,
until you know who you're dealing with, don't go offending people. And how do you know? You research. What kind of person is this?
Yeah.
Is this and there are guys who have been mentioned here.
Yes.
What kind of a person?
4 kinds of
what kind of a person is this?
Yeah. You've just when you're talking about your story, a gun, it's totally unrelated, but I do fear crowds where there's a lot of fracas and fights and all of that, because I do imagine someone amongst here might have a weapon. So why would I go? Anytime I see a crowd and maybe there's a fight between 2 people, I stay away, because I imagine there might be someone with a gun or a knife or just anything that could have me. I'm just a passerby.
And actually, guys who like to fight don't know the danger of war.
They don't
know the danger of war.
They love the thrill.
They're not dangerous people.
That's
why they think that fighting is just it's just throwing punches. A fighter, a professional fighter, a person who's been trained to fight, knows and understands the amount of damage they can do to you if they fight you. The guys who avoid fighting the most are the people who are trained in fighting, in the art of combat. Because you know the damage you can do.
Yeah.
You know where you can hit someone and they go on a serious blackout. Wanaona tu giza.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
But if you see someone, this is how I usually tell whether a person is dangerous or capable of doing something, or whether a person is just a mwoga trying to look like a
Strong, brave.
trying to look
Why you
brave.
macho?
Just listen to how someone speaks. Look at how ready they are to fight. People who are trained in the art of combat are not ready to fight. Why? They know the amount of damage they can do.
Yeah.
I have a trainer,
Yeah.
and he tells me, you cannot fight. As a matter of fact, one of the threats he's given me is that the day I hear you have fought, I'll stop training you.
Really?
Yes. Because they teach you where to hit.
Yeah.
They teach you how to immobilize a person.
So you know the right places to hit once you start fighting.
And the bigger the person, the harder they fall.
Really?
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Don't ever look at somebody and you see that they are big-bodied and you think that they are strong. No.
You can put them down.
Philosophy of combat.
Yeah.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Wow.
You can put them down easily.
Very easily.
So you avoid at all costs. Be very much afraid of someone who tries. There are two kinds of people.
Yeah.
There are those who avoid fighting because they cannot fight. They're not virtuous people. They're not peaceful people. They can't just fight.
They're weak.
They just can't fight.
Let me not say weak. Sorry.
No, they are. They just can't fight. You see, Jordan Peterson says that virtue has to be tested. Virtue has to be tested. You cannot say you're a man of peace unless you are capable of war. And you choose peace. That is when you become a man of peace.
You have an option.
Yes. There are guys who are peaceful because they can't fight.
Yeah.
They are weak.
I'm just a
they claim they're not peaceful. They just don't know how to fight. Ni waoga tu. But there are others who are fighters. And if you are a fighter and you are a dangerous person. So virtue is checked when it comes to fighting. Virtue is checked in how you control. You know you're dangerous. You know you can do harm.
Yeah.
You know you can fight someone and put them down. And injure them, yeah. But you withhold that. You restrain yourself from that.
Yeah.
So if you ever see someone, you're trying to fight them, and they are moving away, trying to avoid the fight, they are either very much trained or they are weak. Those two things.
Okay.
And do you want to find out?
No, I don't. I don't want to find out.
Do you want to find out if they're trained?
No, I don't.
Yes.
Personally, no. Yeah.
Because
let's not.
This guy who I train with, he tells me, you must de-escalate. You must run away from a fight. Like the day you will hear I fought with someone, I ran away and they followed
you.
Yes. I ran away, even if it is locking your car, pulling up the windows in a traffic jam.
Yeah.
I remember there was a time I was in a petrol station and some guy, not in a petrol station, kwa jam. And then some guy just alishuka kutoka kwa matatu. I think it was one of the touts. Akaanza kunigongea gari hivi.
What?
Yeah, I just pulled the windows up.
What?
Yes. Sometimes you need to look like a mwoga.
What a pull.
No, there are people who don't know who they're messing with. I'm not saying I'm a dangerous person, but I'm saying...
Yeah, stay dangerous.
Yes, I'm saying you don't know who you're dealing with.
Yeah. But
don't do that. So what I did, I pulled the windows of the car
up
and just put the lock kabisa, designer hizi fungua. But if he opened that, I'll put him down. If he opened the door, I'll put him down.
Yeah. It's self-defense.
It's self-defense, but it has to be the very last resort when you have been cornered completely.
Yeah.
If you can run away, run away. If you can run away, run away. Let guys say huyu ni msemwoga. Because another thing I told you of a guy who hit someone and he fell down and died, and he's in prison right now. So there's so much damage that can come out of fighting.
Yeah.
So you best
and even just
avoid it.
There's so much damage when it comes to offending the wrong people.
You best
avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
So this book gives us 4 kinds of people. And the first one, I'll use the original.
Yes.
The first one is the arrogant and the proud man. Although he may initially disguise it, this man's touchy pride makes him very dangerous. Any perceived slight will lead to a vengeance of overwhelming violence. You may say to yourself, but I only said such and such at a party where everyone was drunk. It does not matter. There is no sanity behind his overreaction, so do not waste time trying to figure him out. If at any point your dealings with a person you sense an oversensitive and overactive pride, flee. Whatever you are hoping for from him isn't worth it. Wamesema this man's touchy pride makes him very dangerous.
Yeah, because
Oh.
he's very arrogant.
Yeah.
He's a very arrogant guy. Egos.
Mm.
People's egos are usually very fragile,
Very fragile.
and especially if they are powerful people.
Mm.
Do not mess with the ego of a man in power.
Mm.
Avoid that person at all costs. Try to run away from them, because they will visit vengeance on you that is serious, that you cannot handle. Instead of putting yourself in that position
Yeah.
where this guy has to visit his vengeance on you, avoid them.
Yeah.
Run away from them. Get out of their radar.
Yeah.
I told you last time, if you aim at the king, make sure you don't miss.
Yeah.
The shot aimed at a person in authority is a one-time shot. You have one bullet.
Yeah.
It is one shoot, one kill. You miss, you are done.
You're done. You're dead.
Yes.
Remember, flee.
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 Run away from him, because
Hepa, seek
he is
asylum.
arrogant.
Yeah.
He is arrogant. He has a huge ego. He's going to want to fight you. He's going to want to fight you. You don't want such people fighting you.
At
You don't
all.
want that much attention.
No, please, it's too much. Too much pressure. Too much pressure.
Know who
simply
you're
because-
dealing with. And that tells you that you have to research on the people you're dealing with. You have to know who you're working for.
Yeah.
You have to know who you're working with.
Yeah.
You have to know who you're about to work with. See, that's why I like to go out and take lunch and have lunch with guys. I just want to discover who they are.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm getting into business with someone. I like to get into business with people I know.
Oh, so that you can know what.
Yes,
lines
I know
not
the
to cross.
parameters. I know
Yeah.
what like they say, the chink in the arm. I know their strengths and weaknesses. You might not really fully know someone's strengths and weaknesses, but you will not be confused. You will pick up
Yeah.
some things.
Okay.
When you deal with them, you'll pick up some things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Person number 2 is the hopelessly insecure man. This man is related to the proud and arrogant type, but is less violent and harder to spot. His ego is fragile. His sense of self insecure. His ego is fragile. His sense of self insecure, and if he feels himself deceived or attacked, the heart will simmer. He will attack you in bites that will take forever to get big enough for you to notice. If you find you have deceived or harmed such a man, disappear for a long time. Every time they're just saying disappear.
Yes.
Hepa.
This
do not
one
stay
is the
around.
hopelessly insecure,
Yeah.
driven by his insecurities. He's hopelessly insecure. There is no hope of him ever becoming secure.
Okay. It's like a
And
hopeless
so he's-
romantic.
Yes, he's like that. He's just hopeless. He's insecure and hopelessly insecure.
Yeah.
And this guy has a very fragile ego
Yeah.
because of his insecurity. If you have such a boss, I'll be very careful about that person. You might be in a meeting seated and it is time to give your opinions, and you have a dissenting opinion to his or hers. You have a contrary opinion or an objection. They take offense at that. Imagine they take offense. If you know that you're dealing, that is the kind of person you're working for, who is hopelessly insecure. Do not, and I repeat, do not challenge them, especially publicly.
Okay.
Do
Okay,
not challenge them
publicly.
publicly. Yes, because they are insecure.
Yeah.
They want, and you see, their insecurity could be performance-based insecurity, where they think that they are not performing well enough. So if you constantly remind them that they're not performing, then they will be out to get you. And their danger is, their profile is that they have a fragile ego
Yeah.
and they're easily wounded.
Yeah.
Their danger is they won't attack openly.
Yeah.
Instead, he will quietly undermine you bit by
Slowly,
bit.
Yeah, the thing in bites, it
Yes.
will take forever for you to notice.
You will never even notice them.
They'll just start like
If
it's in a workplace.
Yes, they will not tell you that you've offended them, but they would be offended. So bit by bit, and this asks for, like I told you, be interested in human beings.
Yeah.
Be personally interested in the people you're dealing with. You will pick out these things. You'll pick out their behavior from other people, or how they react with or interact with other people. If you're working with them or they are close to you, you'll be able to know because they will come and tell you. If someone challenges them in a meeting, they will come and tell you, huyu msee sasa anajifanya anajua.
Yeah.
When you hear such kind of things, and to you, it was a small issue. If you see them picking up an issue with a very small objection they received, you best know that they are the insecure people. Don't attack them. Don't attack them.
Don't be on the wrong side.
Advice, if you offend him, vanish from his life.
So how do I vanish from my boss if my boss is an insecure person? Nitafuta job kwingine.
So for you to not vanish, don't offend them.
Usually acha tutafute kazi place ingine.
Kuwa na ma-CV unarushanga.
Itabidi.
But then they say start planning to be fired the day you're hired.
Oh.
Yeah. The day you get into that office and you sign your contract, your employment contract, is the day you start planning to be fired.
Wow. Everything you do is just being watched.
Ni dunia. Wanasema kwa Kiswahili dunia ni rangi.
Enye tumepata platform ya kutumia hizi vitu.
Nilikuwa na hizi insha nitazitumia wapi?
Here is the platform.
Ni rangile. Hapo kwanza mwalimu angekuwa ameka tutiktuili ameandika swada. Mwalimu wangu alikuwa kana mashamra waisha. Heko.
Jesus. Okay. But true. Hata bibi hapo 2 marks. That guy.
Yeah.
Mr. Suspicion.
Yes.
Another variant on the breeds above. This one upon a future Joe Stalin. He sees what he wants to see, usually the worst in other people, and imagines that everyone is after me. This one is just paranoid. Paranoia, best friends. Mr. Suspicion is in fact the least dangerous of the three. Genuinely unbalanced. He is easy to deceive, just as Stalin himself was constantly deceived. Play on his suspicious nature to get him to turn against other people. Okay, well. But if you do become the target of his suspicions, watch out. You better watch out.
Yeah, Mr. Suspicion is Mr. number 3. Mr. Suspicion ni wale watu are driven by paranoia. Man,
you think everyone is after you?
These people.
Listen, I don't like
They are sorry if you are part of
Pole, lakini
we can't stand you.
We cannot. Like, why are you worried all the time?
No, they're suspicious of everything and they think everyone is out there to attack them.
Yeah. And so leo.
Yes.
Bro, relax.
So here is their profile. They see the worst in everyone. Everybody is guilty.
Yeah.
Until proven innocent. And even when proven innocent.
Everyone is guilty until proven innocent.
Yes. Even when proven innocent, they are still guilty. Have you ever seen that kind of people?
Yeah.
I know. I investigated. I know he didn't do it. But misi kuamini.
There is something else. Hata kama si hiyo kuna kitu ingine alifanya.
Wewe ulifanya ingine ama una plan kufanya ingine.
Una plan kufanya.
Ndio wao Mr. Suspicion.
God.
So their danger is they are the least dangerous due to paranoia.
Yeah.
Now paranoid people are the easiest to deceive.
True.
The ones who are,
they expect it but they never see it
Robert Greene alikuwa anasema once you show them honesty on one side and you are dishonest on this other side, you deceive them. And then he says, but can turn aggressive if he targets you.
Yeah.
Because of their paranoia, if they really target you, they'll become very aggressive.
Okay.
Exploit his suspicion. Advice, exploit his suspicion to redirect his attention elsewhere. But avoid becoming his target at all costs.
Do not be his target.
Redirect his attention elsewhere.
Yeah. Onyesha ni wale huko.
Ni ule.
Kutakiangi. Hata alikuja kuniambia.
Exactly. But by their disclaimer,
this
is not advice we are giving you.
We
are getting what Robert Greene has given.
Yeah.
In ile, like Americ says, do with this information whatever you will do.
Yeah.
But we are not coming here to prescribe.
We are not advocating it.
Yes.
Please.
Yes,
it is what the book, and we are here to review.
We are reviewing a book.
Exactly. We are not removing any information.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, huyu ameitwa vibaya. The serpent with a long memory.
The serpent. Nyoks.
Uni nyoks ukweli. Aya, if hurt or deceived, this man will show no anger on the surface. He will calculate and wait. Then when he is in a position to turn tables, he will exact a revenge marked by a cold-blooded shrewdness. Recognize this man by his calculation and cunning in the different areas of his life. He is usually cold and unaffectionate. Be doubly careful of this snake. And if you have somehow injured him, either crush him completely or get him out of your sight.
Exactly.
Either crush him completely.
Ni nyoka.
Ni nyoka.
And you see,
ukikanyaga make sure umeyua.
The serpent with the long memory. Let me read their profile and then tell you something about them.
Okay.
So profile, they are calm, calculating, and cold-hearted.
Wow.
They are calm, calculating,
and
cold-hearted.
Yeah.
You insult them, you offend them, they won't show you that they are offended.
Yeah.
They'll just keep quiet. They'll just stay calm.
They'll sit on it.
But they have, from there, they have declared war. This is their danger. They don't show immediate anger, but quietly plots revenge over a long period.
Yeah.
They play the long game. Advice, never injure or deceive him lightly. If you do, neutralize him completely or stay far away.
Yeah.
This is where most human beings are. Nyoka. Most human beings are
calm
here.
and calculated.
Yes. People just sit down.
Yeah.
They laugh at you, especially in church. I've seen this in church a lot.
Really?
Yeah, church has so many snakes.
But hypocrisy is just the way of life.
Church has snakes.
Guy.
Yes. And I'm saying this, I'm not insulting the Church of Christ because I'm also a part of that church. I'm saying this, it is human nature. Human nature is fallen. It's fallen nature. And we have to be aware.
Very fallen.
This podcast is Redpill awareness. Yeah. We are creating awareness of this kind of people. Because if you expect the opposite, you get deceived.
Yeah.
And you will get into trouble. Na utaanza kusema human beings are like this.
You know.
Post-election sijui nini.
Post-election usiingilia wapi.
Utaanza story mingi hapa za maandamano.
Reject.
Yes, these guys, they calculate.
Yeah.
And they injure you over a long period of time. If it is in a work setup, they sabotage your work. They sabotage you. Yeah. And you'll never really know that they're the ones who are doing that. If they are out to fight you, they will use proxies.
Oh, God.
Yes, like let's say I'm in an organization and I'm fighting you.
Yeah.
I'll use other people to fight you. I can use the HR to fight you. Yes. We can use those people to deal with you properly. Perpendicular is sacaphoniously.
I'm about to misuse that word. Wow.
So be wary of the serpent.
Yeah.
If you meet a serpent, crush their head.
Yeah, they live and ruin your reputation. The long game. Pole.
It is long game. It is killing you slowly.
Killing you softly.
Remember that song? Killing you softly. Alikuwa anasimama killing you softly.
With his song that it is not related to this.
It has everything to do with love.
It has everything to do with love.
Penzi.
Yeah. Ni maundo mangoros. Ni maundo mangoros. Yeah, with his love. With his love. I must do with his song. I can't even remember.
Ni love and song. I think it's love and song. No, with his song. Killing me softly
with his song. Because it was a Spanish, he's a Spanish piano player. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Tony Braxton.
Yeah, it's Tony Braxton.
Me and your member Unbreak My Heart.
Yeah.
Hizo tulisikiza,
Kitambo.
Simping Days.
Break. Uliandikia mse lyrics.
No. Boss, I was a ghetto man.
Okay.
Hey, in ghetto itself is dangerous. So
hakuna time ya kuandika
bro yako imevunjika already by where you live. So kuvunja roho ni ngumu. Nani mwingine anaweza kuvunja roho?
Okay. the plain, this is the last one we're going to talk about. The plain, unassuming, and often unintelligent man.
Yeah.
Your ears prick up when you find such a tempting victim, but this is a lot harder to deceive than you imagine. Falling for a ruse often takes intelligence and imagination, a sense of possible rewards.
The unintelligent man is the most stable because of his sometimes unintelligence works in his favor.
Yeah.
These are guys, even when you craft a cunning joke, you see those dad jokes, those clever jokes, they don't get it.
What?
You see, deceptors or deceivers are Deceivers are usually very intelligent people.
They get a lot.
They get a lot.
They very quick.
They attack from the corners. Unakumbuka ile meme ya
stop going. Don't go through the corners.
So they attack directly.
Yeah.
This guy is unaware of intelligent jokes, intelligent nini, mafumbo na methali. Ye methali ni maana ya juu. Aliye juu, mngoje chini, anajua hivyo ni juu na chini.
Utashuka.
Yake ni juu na chini.
Yeah.
Hata akisikia hii joke, anaangalianga juu, anajua yenyewe, atashuka chini.
I'd hate to be unintelligent.
But you can't now, because of that, because of their unintelligent nature, it's very difficult to deceive them. Very difficult.
I'm wondering.
They are very literal in how they interpret things. The world is very literal.
Yeah.
We will make a profit of 10,000.
Yeah.
That is the profit they are looking for. They don't care how.
Yeah.
They don't care anything. They just know this is what it is difficult to
deceive them.
To deceive them.
Okay.
Anasema advice. No, danger. The danger of this guy is surprisingly hard to deceive because he doesn't see the trap.
Yeah. Oh God.
He just won't get your cleverness.
Like he's so
foolish to get your cleverness. So he's actually, you can't deceive him.
Oh wow.
I know one.
You
not around, not
Yeah.
local example.
Yeah, but
I know one. They don't get it. Have you ever sat down with someone? They don't get wewe na hizo kwenda around the corners. He's not getting what you're saying.
Really?
To them, the world is point A to point B.
Yeah.
Toka hapa.
Yeah.
As you are going to town, how do you go to town? Some people will tell you, go tafuta nganya, yenye kona music, wait there, go to pale roundabout. This guy, how to go to town? He doesn't want to know about your nganya and all those stories. Go get a matatu, go to town.
That's it.
That's it.
Kama ni matatu, tuk-tuk.
You explain yourself. They wonder what you're explaining. What are you explaining? You are going to town.
You are yapping, Shanice.
Yes. The advice on how to deal with them.
Yeah.
He'll drain your resources.
Yeah.
Time and sanity. He will make
like you will be devastated because he's not getting it.
You're too clever for him. He will drain your resources because you'll use a lot of resources to try and deceive them.
Na yeye haoni.
Na yeye hayuko huko. Kwanza hakuget. He will take your time because you'll keep explaining and he will make you insane.
Yeah.
Test his reactions first before investing your effort.
What?
Imagine in a dating situation you're dealing with
an intelligent. No, please, thanks. Mi nataka uget vitu. No, I can't. No.
You see the way ladies unaenda kumuuliza what is wrong and then wamefura anakuambia nothing. That guy takes it literally. By there is nothing wrong.
And if that is not men in general, especially when it comes to ladies issues, ati what is wrong, nothing. Nimekwambia nothing, no umeenda.
Mimi nikikuuliza what is wrong uniambie nothing.
Sasa
it is nothing.
An intelligent man.
No, by the way, on that case, the guys who tell you go when they mean ladies, when they tell you siuende and they mean usiende.
Yeah.
By the way, I take that literally and just go.
No, hiyo ni maana.
And then tomorrow uko son nini you went. You told me to leave for heaven's sake. An intelligence. That's why they make you insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're the guys who cause ladies to fall in love. They're the guys who cause ladies to fall head over heels. Ile ground fall with a third. Ni hawa. Because you see they are very indifferent. True. They're not sensitive. You cannot play emotional games with them.
They
These
won't
kind of people, you will never be able to play emotional
at
games
all.
with them. Yes, they just don't get it.
They won't get it.
Yes, and
They'll
you
think
will
you're
go
serious. Yeah.
asking what do men want. They don't want anything. It's just unintelligent.
You go get a simple ask you, oh baby.
Yes, those sensitive ones. Wachana nao. Huyu ni ngumu.
Okay. Which one would you say you fall under? Which kind of man
I
would
think
you
I
say
have
you fall under?
I'm a mash of other than insecurity. And I'm not saying I don't think I've ever sat down and felt insecure about people. In fact, I usually am impressed by people who perform well.
Yeah.
And bright people. Bright people just impress me. I can sit down and listen to my junior who is intelligent.
Yeah.
And just listen and wow at their intelligence. I have never sat down at a point in time and felt threatened by someone's intelligence.
Yeah.
No. I actually appreciate them.
That's a secure position to
because
be in. Yeah.
For me, this is what I say. If I meet someone who is ahead of me in terms of intelligence, I want to become that person.
Yeah,
I want to be where they are.
There's a lot to learn from them.
So now I learn. Even from my juniors. When I sit down with some of our staff members and I listen to them in a staff meeting as they are talking about things that I am confused about, I get impressed when I see intelligent people. Even when they go to my superior, even when we are with our board and they are shining all day, I don't get insecure. I'm not saying I'm very secure because human being again is to error.
Yeah.
But majority of the time, 90% of the time, I'm usually like, go girl.
You shine.
Go, you shine.
Shine your way.
Yeah.
So you have said you're a mash of?
Yes, so that is...
The hopelessly insecure.
No.
No, not that one.
I think I could be...
And you're not suspicious. You're not Mr. Suspicion.
I think from the sinful point of view, I could be a serpent with a long memory. I think I could be
at least you've admitted from the sinful point.
From the sinful point, I would be that serpent with a long memory. Yeah. Because sometimes I don't forget easily what
people do.
Yeah, I don't like to hold things against people, but I don't really usually forget.
Yeah,
especially because I talked about it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I was actually about to
something.
Imagine, hey, namna to watch TikTok. I was actually about to tie that to hata mimi niko hapo kwa serpent with long memory because I will not forget once you've done something. Tunakuweka tu mbali because
what I have seen, and by the way, in that post on betrayal, what I have that hits home
a lot.
By the way, when I talk about that, it's not theoretical.
Yeah,
I have been betrayed, forgiven, and brought the people in the exact same position. They actually camouflaged and redid their betrayal in another different way, which hurt even worse. Magnanimous. Which hurt even worse.
Yeah.
In fact, the second time they betrayed me, the second time they did it, it was, I couldn't recover.
Kwa nini?
That one I could not recover because they did it ruthlessly, meticulously.
Yeah.
They did it with all the vigor.
Yeah, because they said, fool me once.
Shame on you.
Fool me twice, shame on me. Because now it's shame on me. Yeah. I allowed this, and you really beat yourself about it.
Yes.
Kwanza when they hurt you the second time, you're like,
yes. I ignored.
Yeah.
Chinese flag. Kuna mtu alikuwa anasema tukiona red flag usifikirie ni ya pink. Ama we paint silver.
It's red.
It's red.
It's red. Let's take it for what it is. Okay. That was an amazing. It's great to know those 4 kinds of people and what to watch out for. Or who to watch out for. Hapa kuna interpretations and lessons.
Na podcast discussion.
Oh, podcast. Have you ever encountered?
Oh, this is what you have.
These are for people to ponder on. Why do we often underestimate the quieter, less visibly threatening individuals? Because they look harmless.
Harmless.
Very harmless.
I have told
silent
you.
Killers. Yeah.
The most dangerous people in this world do not look the part.
Yeah.
Do not look the part at all. If you see, they look very calm. Have you watched documentaries on serial killers?
Yeah.
Do they look like serial killers?
who thought Jeffrey Dahmer was
Yes.
able of doing whatever he was doing.
They don't look the part. That is the deception in itself.
Wow.
Dangerous people, even fighters. I can tell you if someone is a fighter based on just how they stand.
Oh, that.
Yes.
Really?
You can tell.
Really?
Yeah. If you're about to kukungutana, if you're about kukungutana, just look at how you're standing. And I know this is a trained guy. So
stay away.
Ukiona wale wanakukujianga nini? Alafu anakuwekea kifua hivi. Kwanza ni uso amekutengenezea uso hivi.
Amekutengeneza tu platform.
Wewe ukiona boxing watu wanaficha uso. Huyu anakuwekea. They come to your face like this.
Kill it.
Ukiona hiyo unaona this one. I can destroy this. Unasemanga this one I can destroy. Wacha nimwache. And the loudest.
Nitavunja, yeah.
The loudest people. Nini? Utafanya nini ndakuonesha? Kwanza nikisikianga hao najuanga this one. This one you can deal with them vibaya. That one leave. You can even harm them. Leave them. Let them shout.
The silent.
Yes,
the quiet ones.
The quiet, calm person, especially when there is chaos.
Yeah.
When you see chaos and someone is calm and quiet and just looking at you. I'll show you one of the stands, one of the ways to see if someone is trained in fighting.
Okay.
You can just look at them, look at their legs.
See it.
You will see it. You'll see it.
Yeah.
Even their calmness can tell you. Even their eyes, they can tell you. They constantly just when you just go to you want to fight someone and they just dead cold stare at you.
That one is planning.
They're just looking at you.
Yeah.
You're there with your big mouth.
When nipige
tupigane. Huyo unaweza mfanya mambo
na utavunja mbavu.
Yes.
This one is more of a reflection. Have you ever encountered any of these personalities in your life or workplace? Me, this one who is always suspicious of everyone, suspecting everyone is after them. Like, checky, relax. Not everything is about you. Not everything is about you. Just sit down, relax. We're not even thinking about you. Which personality do you think is most dangerous and why? You're arrogant. How can you recognize these types of people? That's for you to know.
Just take keen interest on people and
observe,
you will see.
Observe.
People, unasikia body language. Do you know that 99 of the things you reveal are subconscious? Subconsciously, you reveal a lot without talking. In fact, people reveal less about themselves when they talk. When they keep talking, they will tell you, but body language tells you everything. Someone can tell you, I love you, but their body is saying, I hate you.
They don't even want to be near
even
you.
How they are seated.
Yeah.
You know, people ignore a lot of things.
Yeah.
You've gone on a date with someone and they are seated and let me tell you how uninterested
we've seen a
person who is interested in you or what you're saying. They face you.
True.
Their body, they can look straight, but their body faces you. You do that subconsciously. You know that?
Yeah.
They face you. They're interested in what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you see that you're talking to someone and they're looking away, especially their legs, tunaongea na wetu story na mimi.
Do you know I've been on a date with someone who sat like that?
Yes, exactly. They are not interested. They are. You have to read what their body is telling them. Their subconscious, their subconscious behavior tells you a lot about them. It can tell you about them. When you ask a question.
Yeah.
Like for example, I have seen this, and if you suspect someone is deceiving you, you can ask them one question 4 times, but in 4 different ways.
Oh.
Like let me do an example.
Okay.
I ask you, how old are you? Then you tell me, I am so and so, this number of years.
Yeah.
Then we continue with the conversation. By the way, when is your birthday? You will tell me when your birthday is.
Yes.
I will calculate. Tukae tuseme I can even tell you, by the way, when were you born? When is your birthday actually is when were you born?
Yeah.
Nikuje ni tuongea about your birthday.
Yeah.
I come talk about when you went to high school.
Yeah.
You know, if
How
I
long
ask
ago
you
yeah.
when you joined Form 1, I'm still
Calculating
calculating your age.
Yeah.
If I ask you when you left campus,
Yeah.
that's the same question asked 4
4
different times.
Oh, wow.
And at the same time, I'm calculating. You can see a plus or minus because sometimes we forget this. But I have from those questions, nimeanza kuona huyu jamani muongo.
Yeah.
Unaget? Ukiniambia you were born in 91, then I ask you when you cleared high school or when you cleared primary school. Uniambie umeclear 2007. Sinajua unanidanganya.
Bro,
so there is ways of finding out.
Sure.
People reveal. I usually like to observe people. I'm not revealing my tactics. They're not even tactics. It's just something that I got interested in.
And they won't know when you're observing?
When I sit down, let's say, for example, we are so many guys. When I sit down, I just look around. I usually skim around. Especially when we are having a conversation as a group. I usually like to look. Sometimes I see a guy speaks and a lady roll their eyes. And I know, bas, hapa kuna shida. I can see someone speaking and you see another one completely disinterested in what is going on. I'm a zone out. Those are the... And I am a public speaker. So when I speak publicly, one of the good things of being a good public speaker is being able to read the room.
Yes. Observe your audience.
I have had to change even my speech.
Really?
Yes. Because you go to somewhere, like one day was... No, let me not talk about that one.
Okay.
You go somewhere and you see... you're talking to people on their phones. They're uninterested.
They're super uninterested.
Yes, that is the best. There are people who ignore and continue speaking and spend a whole hour of not communicating.
True. Okay. Interpretations and lessons now. Never underestimate someone's strength or significance, even if they seem inferior.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate
anyone. Never underestimate anyone.
Yeah.
Never. In everything that you do. Because you do not know them. You do not know what they are made up of. You do not know what their story is. Yeah. You do not know how far they can go to bringing you down. And especially so, I have seen this with huge people. When it comes to physical fighting. People who are big-bodied and they are huge, they usually think that is a plus for them. I have told you, the bigger a person is, the easier they fall, the harder they fall. They give you a huge target.
Yeah.
They're a huge target. If a Goliath steps in here, yes, they are dangerous because they have strength.
Yeah.
But bringing a Goliath down is easy. Yes, it is easy. Yeah. Because you see, part of the reason why bringing them down is easy is number one, they come with that bias that I am bigger than you.
Yeah.
So I can
they really
you.
Underestimate.
They underestimate you. Especially if you are like a small person. They underestimate you because of their size. They think that size has anything to do with combat. In fact, I think heavy bodies and big bodies are a disadvantage in combat. I would dare argue
not
that.
Swift.
Yes, because you see...
I also dare say they're not swift.
Yes, dealing with that person is very easy. Yeah. But many of the times I've seen an encounter between a huge person and a small person. You see a lot of confidence in the huge person and they end up paying dearly for it. Yes.
Okay.
Like even Mike Tyson in boxing, when you watch Mike Tyson's boxing matches, he was not a huge guy.
Yeah.
He was like a short guy here, but very fast. He's very good with moving his head. In fact, his head movements were his greatest, and he had a very strong left hook. So when he gets into a ring with a huge person, you could just see.
Their legs are
and he would knock them out dead cold. Yes. So
the underestimated ones will leave you mouth agape.
Every opponent must be treated with respect.
Please, yes.
One rule. Treat your opponent, respect your opponent.
Hakuna law kama hiyo. Robert Greene akaja
sasa hii ni rule yetu hapa BTP. Respect your opponent.
Yeah.
We see this even in football. We see a team like Manchester inaenda inakutana na timu nyingine. Wanaleta Kiburi United, Kiburi FC. Tunaleta mimi ni fan wa Man U unajua.
Na tuko namba sijui ngapi
na bado uko tu chini. But you see, you can see even how some players play unaona tu wamedharaua watu and they end up losing.
True.
Don't.
Okay.
Again, don't underestimate their significance.
Yeah.
Let me give you a case in point. You see, like the way Kibe was attacking guys, attacking people. You don't know who you're dealing with. They made his YouTube channel zikwe disabled zote. He was deplatformed. There is just someone there who had made it their life, and people are telling him, "We're going to make it our life mission to bring you down."
And they did.
And they did.
Successful.
Yeah, because don't offend. You cannot make a career out of offending people. No. That's a very flimsy career. Because those people, out of 10 you will offend, 1 will come after you.
Yeah.
And they will come after you with everything they've got.
They'll spend
and sometimes you're not ready for people to come after you.
True.
Yeah.
True. You never want to be on everyone's radar. It's the wrong thing. Some people are slow to anger, but once provoked, respond with overwhelming force.
Especially the people who are slow to anger.
Yeah.
That means they have a lot of patience.
And they give you so many chances.
So they calculate patience.
Yeah. So it's like they're giving you a chance to redeem yourself. Now would you redeem?
Yes. People who are slow to anger should be treated with respect.
Yeah.
Because they most likely, or on most occasions, don't let it go. People who get angry very quickly sometimes also calm down very quickly.
Yeah, and they're most times harmless.
Yes, but people who get angry very quickly, slowly, they are difficult because they calculate over time and it takes time to get to you.
Offending pride or honor can trigger extreme and unexpected retaliation. Offending pride or honor.
Yes, don't go after someone's
pride.
Honor and pride. We said reputation is everything. Guard it with your life. Imagine if you're going after someone's reputation.
Yeah.
See, I told you,
Email guard it.
when you see these shows on YouTube where guys are building a career out of hitting each other, out of hitting other people. Yeah, you see most of the time they offend people's pride, reputation, they malign them. You don't get far. How many times has Edgar Obare been deplatformed? Semekuwa he lose accounts as he opens, he loses.
So many times I wonder why he's still around on
I think Instagram. This time hakuna hiyo credibility inapotea.
Nothing. And I dare say this. He has
short-lived.
Nothing of value that
you better build a career out of niko na shida.
Nini?
Sijui ni nini inanisumbua.
Mnaweza leta maji.
Kitu nani ni maji na kunywa.
That's water. Is it warm ama ni baridi?
Wacha ni sips tea.
Sips water. Okay. If rejecting someone's offer, also always do so politely and respectfully.
Yeah.
Mistaki kazi yako. You don't know who you're offending.
There is a guy I think I saw on YouTube. Akisema how he went to, it was a msanii going to another msanii. So upcoming. Najua wale upcoming of 15 years. Amekuwa upcoming 15 years.
Brother grow up. Ata we grow up sasa.
So this is an upcoming artist.
Yeah.
Not 15 years, I'm just joking. An upcoming artist.
Yeah.
So approaches an established artist. Na namwambia, I want us to do something. The established artist anamreply vibaya. The way Muhammad did with Genghis Khan. Sifanyangi hizo vitu. You don't have a name.
Collabo yako.
I remember Mwas kwa Mike Check akisema that somebody told him, you're still going to that little show of yours. Right now, they are one of the biggest podcast programs in Kenya. So don't underestimate. When you're turning people down, turn them politely. You might need them in the future. You might really need them.
Fact.
There are people who turn you down, and then they get to a point when they need you.
Yeah.
And now they bite their words, or their words bite them.
I can imagine some wasa ko pale tu. Yes, I'm going to my little podcast with 100,000 subscribers.
You see?
Sir.
It takes time. Building these things take time. So when you're up here, Know that everyone is coming for this top spot. Everyone is interested in this
True.
top spot.
True.
So if you're here, wacha kudharau hawa watu wako
Usi-
hapa.
usi-
Because I'm telling you, the place people stay the shortest. Stop here. The place people stay the shortest is on top.
Yeah.
When you get to the top, you know there is no going further up.
Yeah.
There's no going further up. When you get to the top, the only thing you can do is go down.
Yeah. And it's
Now,
easy to go down.
The hardest thing to do is to maintain top status.
Yeah.
Top tier status.
They say it's lonely at the
That's
top.
why these people who keep posting, oh, I have this money. They keep posting money. You
listen.
don't see them. But there, these people keep showing money, bundles of cash.
Sufuri.
Ati, this is what I have. And posting it.
Ni kufua mnafua.
Look for them 3 years later.
Nunge.
The way money works.
This is something I keep on saying. This is something Silas said, I think in 2021, 2020, when I started hearing him.
Yeah.
Trust me, the same people I was thinking back then. Saizi hata aonekanangi kwa
Yes.
mtandao. We don't even talk. Like they're so irrelevant. You'll not even come up. And back then, sikuwaingisha kama hujasikia jina yao kwa social media.
Exactly.
Making headlines, how much money they are.
They slide into a place we call oblivion.
Oblivion.
If you want to slide into oblivion, show off. Especially money doesn't respect that. Let me tell you the behavior of money.
Yeah.
Money is silent.
Very silent.
And it likes silence.
Yeah.
Loud money runs away. Money only goes where its value is appreciated. Where it is appreciated. And how do we appreciate money? By making it do things that are valuable.
Yeah.
When you go to the bank and withdraw 1 million, you know 1 million is about this size in bundles,
Okay.
in 1,000 shilling notes. If you go and withdraw like 3 or 4 million and then you put it in your car and then you come and show people, that's a behavior unbecoming of money.
Yeah.
That money hates that behavior. That money you're showing hates that behavior. What happens? It runs away from you.
Yeah.
That is why if you do an analysis of those people who used to live lavish lifestyles 3 years ago are not in the same lifestyle.
They're not.
I don't know much
Or they're
about
doing
them.
weird things to maintain them.
And even not even hata wachana na weird, even if they do weird things. Because you know,
not the
I
same.
told you top here, the only way is down.
Yeah.
The hardest thing is to maintain top status.
Yeah.
Even big companies,
Yeah.
multinationals, their biggest struggle is to maintain top tier status. That is usually their biggest struggle.
True.
So don't do that behavior. It is not a good behavior with money.
Okay. You never know. The person you're dismissing might be a Genghis Khan in this guy's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know
You just
the
never
person
know.
you
You
are
know
dismissing.
nothing.
Jon Snow.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
You don't know the person you're dismissing.
Yeah.
You don't know the person unadharau. You don't know the person you're looking
Nadharauringi
down
tu
on.
watu.
Yes.
Usidharauringi watu.
Don't look down on people.
Yeah.
Especially when you are succeeding, Tracy. Don't look down on people. When you're going up, don't look down on people. It does not add anything to your life. It doesn't. In fact, it is ni misfortune you are calling upon yourself. When you start insulting people who are below you, let's say for example, you have you can afford a certain lifestyle right now. There's someone who cannot afford that lifestyle, and they contact you and tell you, "Hey Tracy, could you help me out?" Please do not be rude to them.
Yeah.
If you cannot help them, just respectfully decline.
Tell them,
Yeah, you can tell them respectfully decline. If it is dependent on you and if it is a person you know, help them. You do not know. Tomorrow you might need them.
True.
Tomorrow there will be the guys who you would need their help. And even if it is not their help, there are people who you just need them to put in word for you. Somewhere.
What?
Yeah. When you talk badly to them and you think that you are where you are because you've made the right decisions in life, something is coming for you. Don't do it.
Big.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I try my best. And I'm saying this with fear and trembling. To never appear as a show-off, to never appear to look down on people. I try my best to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I fail. But I have tried. I've tried. I will not tell you, hey, you guys were bedsitter. Kwani bedsitter iko na shida gani? There's nothing. Bedsitter is still accommodation.
Yeah.
Still accommodation. So don't.
Yeah. Okay, I think we can move to the biblical example of this law. And we are having the story of David, Nabal, and Abigail from the book of 1 Samuel. Nilikuwa ni pronounce vingine. Samuel, yeah, it's Samuel. Chanipeleke uzungu kwingine. Samuel, yeah.
I wonder where is the Y.
No, it's the U.
It's Samuel. I want to U ya YU. Samuel.
So 1 Samuel 25.
So the story of this is a very interesting story.
Yeah.
It is a Genghis Khan kind of story.
Kind of thing, yeah.
Keodo Genghis Khan.
Keodo. Ikitu ya Keodo. Kusema tu Keodo something imestick.
Imestick. Inanibantishanga lakini imestick. By the way, have you noticed that hizi my language unajua kubant tulikuwa tunaitumia tukiwa kids?
Yeah.
Nimebant.
Umebant. Si ndio kwanza ukicheza nini? Wait, what was it? Banya.
Bano ati banya. Kwani wewe uligrow up
Banya. Kuna game into banya, si bano, it's different from bano. I know bano.
Bano si tulikuwa tunaita gouache, landangs. Unajua
wewe yenyewe ni wagezo. Ladang.
Landangs, crackings no pay.
Cracking no pay, that one we did. Aki nilikuwa ninacheza bano badala ya kucheza kalongo.
Kwa tunaenda tunachukua ukitaka saa ku cracking no paying zile noma. Unaona unachukua kulikuwa na zile balls the bearings. No. The ball bearings hizi za machines.
Really?
So you know this is a bearing. Sasa kuna ile kikubwa.
Yeah.
Ulikuwa unakaa nayo.
Hapana na
Kigwela.
Hiyo ni kuisheri.
Ati sheri hiyo.
Hiyo ni kuisheri.
Hiyo si ya ghetto. Kigwela, kigwash.
What?
Guanta. Bano, unasema nini? Unafanya kitu inaitwa landangs.
Landangs ni?
Tulikuwa tunakadika mlima kadogo, unaekelea hiyo gwashi.
Ndio uigonge.
Ndio
God.
Kuna watu walikuwa na vidole noma. Anaichapa inakatika mara mbili. Alafu anakuambia cracking no pay.
Cracking no pay na bano ni bob. Wow.
We digress.
Okay.
Lakini utoto wetu ilikuwa fun. That was super fun.
Kido?
Na hizi magame za kuruka kwa masand. Kufanya zilikuwa zinaitangwa mabake. Maflae. Tulikuwa tunapigana mareso.
Na dufu
mpararo kuwezana. Tulikuwa tunasemanga wewe ndio first body.
Si ndio first body.
Unaniweza.
Yeah.
Unaekelea mawe hapo namwambia piga kama unaniweza. Kigonga hivi. Before ifike chini
zisha land.
Squeeze watu wanacheza PS.
Imagine who is outside playing with dust? No.
Do you know for us my mom used to make na unajua ghetto ni pale mmeka kama mko na couch kiti kama mko na kiti ilikuwa inatandikwa kitambaa. Unajua ile inatandikangwa kitambaa.
Yeah.
So in the morning my mom used to say after breakfast and then mkacheze.
Msikae kwa nyumba yake.
We couldn't stay in the house.
Really?
And then mcheze. Tulikuwa tunakuja saa 7 kama tumeparara. Unakula ka lunch, unaishia kurudi ni jioni. Wewe na kuku same was up. The only difference ni unarudi. Kuku inarudi 6. Yeah. Unajua makuku za huko zilikuwa zinaachiliwa. Mimi naonanga siku hizi watu wakieka kuku
zimekuwa
wanazifungia ati kuku ziko cage.
Domestic.
Hata tulikuwa tunafuga douche.
Is it douche?
Doves, yeah.
Really?
Douche inatoka asubuhi na isha inaenda kujitafutia huko. Inarudi jioni. Tulikuwa tunazijengea manyumba and then tunaiacha.
What?
Awe you've not had a fun childhood.
Watu
wa PS, Gen Z.
Okay, mimi sijacheza PS.
PS na movie, Netflix.
Yeah.
Sisi tulikuwa tunaonanga mother alikuwa ananipatia ka 20 bob hivi. 20 bob ni movie 4 za 5 bob.
What?
Movie was 5 bob. Unapale kwa movie. Hadi kaa una unaenda unaosha. Unaona movie hizi za DJ Afro. Hizo movie unaziwatch from. Unajua 4 movies za 2 hours hiyo ni 8 hours.
8 hours. That's a whole day.
Ukiingia morning hata we used to go tuna change uniform tunaeka nguo ya home, tunaeka kwa bag tunaingia movie.
What?
Mata na joko class huko movie.
What?
Ama tukifukuzwa fees.
Oh no.
Unaingia kwa movie, unarudi jioni. Mnarudi naye hata akitoka job mnaweza kutana.
Shule ilikuwa fiti.
My childhood was that ghetto life was fun. It was
Times are
seriously
changing. Times are changing. Mimi
Ah.
nilikuwa nacheza kalongo kwa nyumba.
I went back to the same place. Nikuta ni makabro zimewekwa.
Makabro zimeweka, unaweza
Hebu
potea.
imagine
Sasa
ghetto
unaweza
makabro zimewekwa kila
almost
mahali.
upotee.
But the ghetto looks nice.
Yeah, it
Makabro
does.
zimewekwa
It
everywhere.
does, and I hope security is the same.
I don't know, me I'm afraid because unajua sasa the crew tulikuwa
Yeah,
nao
you have
watu
a bad-
waliishia.
yeah,
So
you
sasa
have a
nikienda
bad
mimi
history.
pia naweza pigwa tisa.
Nyongolos.
Like I can't go back to the same base we used to hang out.
True.
I would be
different.
afraid.
It's a different gang right now.
Yes,
Ni
because
watu
I know what we used to do.
Yeah.
I can't go back.
Okay.
We digress
We
again.
digress again. Again, we are sorry. So you were talking about David.
So the story of David and this guy called Nabal is an interesting story. It's a similar story to Genghis Khan. Samuel the prophet had died.
Yeah.
So when Samuel had died, David moved into the wilderness, which is called the wilderness of Paran. And so Nabal was a very wealthy man with a lot of sheep. Alikuwanga na kondo na camels. Na kazi yake unajua hao watu wa kushia wa kunyoa wanachukua hizo manyoya za sheep. That was what he used to do. So he was very harsh and rude. That is how he was known. He was a rude and a harsh person.
Okay.
So he had a wife called Abigail. Abi. Who was wise, discerning, and very beautiful. That's what the Bible says. Now here is the conflict.
Okay.
David and his men had protected Nabal's shepherds in the wilderness because David was in the wilderness. So he had protected this guy's shepherds. So David sent messengers to politely ask this guy for food supplies during his sharing activities. Anamuitisha tu food. Nabal insulted David.
What?
Yeah. Refusing hospitality and implying that David was a runaway servant and deserving of help. I think this was a time when David was running. Yes, he was running away. Wewe ni mkimbizi.
Ungrateful person.
Ungrateful. Now this is what happened. When news got to David of Nabal's insult, he told guys, chukueni sword zenu tumwende.
No.
Yes, and he took 400 men.
Okay.
He was going after him.
Yeah.
Tumuoneshe. Tulimprotect. Now let's go destroy him.
Madharau ringi.
Anamdharau ringi.
Unadharau ringi.
Then Abigail, the wife, heard of what David was about to do to retaliate. So she went ahead of Nabal. She went to David. Na akamwambia, please forgive my stupid husband. He's foolish. Nemodomo. Mokegu.
Ule ni mjinga.
Alimwambia huyu ni mjinga, msamehe, and she managed to intercede. So Abigail returned home. Finding Nabal drunk, she waited until the next morning to tell him what she had done. Hearing the news, Nabal experienced severe shock, fell ill, and died 10 days later as God's judgment.
What?
Yes. He had offended the man of God. And
David was king at this time?
I'm not sure.
No.
No, I think he was.
Yeah.
Or he was about to be king.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So David saw Nabal's death as divine justice and later married Abigail.
Uongo.
Haikuwa inaishia hapo. Wewe kwani usikii kunasemekana na Abigail was very beautiful.
Very beautiful.
And
The Bible
Abigail was an intercessor.
And very wise.
Alifanya intercessory. Hakuja kusema kwa Daudi, msamehe
ule mjinga tu.
Msamehe huyu mjinga.
David alimwona ako.
David ako, okay.
Okay, this is nice.
Make Odo smart.
Is Odo beautiful? Odo beauty. Such a beauty.
Sasa Nabal akakufa, David akakuwa mshikadau.
Taking, yeah.
Aliingia akakuwa mshikadau. Alishikilia hiyo dau. Daudi ni mshika. Daudi alikuwa dangerous. You know, even when they wanted to pima if King David had died, you know what they did?
What did they do?
They brought a young virgin to him.
No.
Asubuhi kakuta huyu msichana hajaguzwa.
Uongo, that's how.
Akasema kumbe Daudi mfalme amefariki.
Uongo.
That's how they tested how he died.
David, but
walikuwa wanajua neke odo
Is a dangerous.
is a danger.
Alikuwa anaenda ku
no,
nini Solomon kidogo.
No, David alistruggle kwa David
alikuwa na
struggle. By the way, struggle.
Really?
You read first Samuel and see.
I'll go read
David struggled
with
now.
women.
Yeah, with
because he was able to
kill women. His weakness. We imagine wazee wanasema hatuwezi ingia kwa chamber za mfalme tukamwamshe. Alikuwa mzee sana.
Yeah.
I don't remember the story correctly. But they left a virgin to him. And in the morning she was untouched. It was unlike David. Ai, hii si tabia Daudi angesamehea. Angefanya anything. Wakaona Daudi hajafanya kitu.
This one is dead for
They
sure.
knew he was dead.
Oh God.
Hebu imagine ndio watu
that's a bad rep because he had killed someone's husband ndo chukue.
Na akachukua huyo dem.
Na Abigail.
Yes, Abigail.
David
alikuwa na
alikuwa anataka kucompete na Solomon.
See, Solomon was his son. Kwani cut from the same cloth.
Wow.
Suleimani naye alikuja akainherit na kaenda
the
Pro
apple
Max.
does not fall.
Suleimani alienda Pro Max.
Ultra.
Suleimani naye, I'm sure there is no one in this world. Hata kimswati. Hajafika hapo.
The apple does not fall far from the tree.
Suleiman pia aliwapenda. And then that time, if you become the king's concubine, no man can touch you, they will die.
Really?
Yes.
Concubine, not wife.
Yes.
Just a concubine.
You belong to the king. Your king's property, boss. In fact, if any man, au wanawake 1,000, Suleimani aliwatoa kwa market.
Vibaya.
Nobody would dare touch someone who the king has been with. They would die. So aliwa condemned to perpetual singleness.
Perpetual singleness.
Imagine unwanted singleness. No, nobody would touch the king's girlfriend. Can you dare? Okay. No, just imagine. This is the girlfriend of the king.
Yeah, utakatwa kichwa.
Utajaribu?
No.
Bas.
No.
So David alikuwa na kashida. But Nabal did not know who he was dealing with. He lost his life and his woman.
I think first he lost the woman. I think David had
he had already lost the woman. By the time Abigail was saying this foolish husband of mine.
Alikuwa anajua ni nini anafanya. Women are wise people. Anyway.
Fear women.
Take 2 minutes of your day.
Fear women. Take 2 minutes and fear them. My friend was telling me, Anto, that I don't know if it is something he saw or someone who did that. That his friend ameka alarms. Unaona venye umeka alarms from 4, 4:15, 4:20, 4:30.
Yeah.
Na ametitle hizo alarms fear women. So ikilia 4 anaona fear women. Akiamka 5 ana
fear women.
It's a reminder. Amefika hiyo point.
Every waking time.
Yes.
Every point in your day.
It's
a time to fear. Sijui tumlete kwa Beyond the Pulpit.
Tutamleta Redpill.
Atupatie story ya fearing women. Okay. Key point to discuss from Abigail, from Nabal and David's story. Know who you're dealing with again. Nabal's fatal error. He insulted someone who appeared weak without recognizing David's true power and influence. How can arrogance blind people from recognizing true power?
True power. Yeah, he actually insulted someone who appeared weak. The appearance of weakness deceived him that this person is actually weak.
Yeah.
There are people who are just cornered. Raila alikuwa anapenda kusema usione simba amenyeshea ukafikiri ni paka. You see? They just appear weak. And everyone has that moment of weakness. That appearance. Don't insult them.
Yeah.
Do not insult them. Utakutana nao kwa interview. I don't know how true this is, but I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Somebody insults someone wakiwa kwa street alafu wanakutana kwa interview
panel. Kwa panel.
Namwambia, so tell us about how you insulted me.
Let's talk to me about your day. Labda ulimkanyaga sijui wapi.
Don't. Be a peaceful man. Be a person that advocates for peace. Be a person that advocates for less violence. Be reluctant about violence. There are people who talk about war. We shall go to war. You know, war has casualties on both ends. I told someone a knife for an eye makes everyone blind. So all of you are going to get blind in this war. Aliniambia by the way anataka kuwa blind.
TikTok people are unreal.
Atakuwa tu. No, don't
don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Wisdom in crisis, that is portraying Abigail's character. Abigail acted quickly, humbly, and wisely. What does Abigail teach us about wisdom in conflict resolution?
Yeah, she acted quickly, humbly, and wisely. She was very wise. And you know, in this time, if David would have attacked, hata Abigail angeua household yake.
Yeah, yote.
So anything she acted quickly, humbly, and wisely, but she was wise. She was wise.
She was wise.
Alikuja akaona David, kumbe ni mshikaji, kumbe anaweza kuwa mshikadau. No, Missy, I'm told ladies know. I'm told
I
ladies.
plead the fifth.
No, I'm told ladies even know your replacement. They know. Wanamjua na unajua anakuanga wapi. Unaona ule best yako ule unashinda ukiambia jua. They know. So Abigail alikuja akaona David ako somehow vulnerable.
Nimeona
somehow vulnerable, but I hear he's a strong man. Ni mtu wa minaba minne. Sasa mimi naona. Now you remember Nabal was very wealthy. And wealthy people during that time had army. Had an army.
I can imagine he also had an army, Okay. The cost of pride. Nabal's pride and harshness nearly cost him everything and eventually led to his death. Were it not for Abigail? Why not for Abigail? He would have lost everything. His life, his wealth and his life.
Angekufa.
Caught in the crossfire.
It is the cost of pride. I've told people humility is the key mark in this world. In this wretched and despicable world. Because the world is wretched, broken, and despicable. The things that happen behind closed doors, in front of open doors, in public, are just wretched.
Yeah.
And the best way to maneuver, just be humble. If a cop stops you, I see people who, a cop stops you, you start shouting them down, you start saying justice. No, just humble yourself.
Yeah.
Just go down. Sometimes people are arrogant. Even if they're arrogant, maybe they're having I told you, you can ask, are you having a bad day?
Are you having a bad
day? Just stare at someone dead cold in the eye and ask them, how may I help you? Are you having a bad day?
I think I'll try that.
There's a cop who stopped me. I was coming from Mumias. And there's right before you go to Nakuru, there's like a place that is very famous for accidents.
Yeah.
So they've put some kimawe katikati, separate the lanes, but there's a kimlima there. So in a mlima, there's a continuous line. So I was approaching a canter, these trailers. Na I approach, it's going at 20. Yo kitu haiwezi panda mlima na more than 20.
Yeah.
So me, I'm there. Nikaipita tu. I saw the cop very happy. Alikuwa tu hivi simama.
This is the day.
I knew I was on the wrong. I actually parked the car.
That's how you're admitting it.
Yes, I was on the wrong. You don't overtake on a continuous line. It's a traffic offense.
Yeah, you don't.
So imagine scenario 1, I would have started, I know, I will call people taking my phone.
I know people. My lawyer.
You know people. Are you those people? Knowing people.
Where
I know the president. I know about him. Do I know him? You see, knowing people does not absorb you. When you're on the wrong, you're on the wrong. You know what I did? He stopped me, asked me for my DL. He took my DL and went with it. Akaenda nayo. Nikasema sitamfuata. You see the way they take your DL.
You have to lock or
Yeah. Nisema sitamfuata. What I did, I pulled down all my windows. Nikavuta hii kiti ya driver. Nikalala chini and I started sleeping. I just nilijiekelea.
Stay dangerous.
Then the guy after 15-20 minutes he came. Anaona hata simkuji.
Unifuate.
Then he came and asked me, ni kijana nini? Nikamwambia sasa enye mkubwa nimekosea. Hapa nimekosea.
Na nimekubali.
Hata kama ni wewe ungekuwa unaendesha hii gari, ungeenda ungefuata ile lori na speed ya 20. Nikamchekesha tu hapa akaniambia, akaiangalia then akaniuliza mbona ujitetei, and alikuwa anaongea na ile arrogance. So every time is arrogant, mimi niko tu kama namwambia sasa, unajua wewe ndio mwenye nguvu. Wewe ndio mwenye nguvu, wewe ndio umenisimamisha, wewe ndio uko na hiyo power ya kuniachilia ama kunishika. Do you know the guy threw my DL at me na akaniambia enda. He literally just came to that window, threw it kwa dashboard na akaniambia enda.
Akukuuliza mbona umpati kitu, mwambie mimi ni mchungaji.
We didn't even have that conversation.
Really?
We did not even have that conversation.
Nice.
And he saw the more he would press, the more silent I would be. Sikuwa na mpiga ati namwambia inope hapa. Yeah.
Ati afande, let me tell you. Okay. Leadership and emotional control. David's initial reaction was anger and violence, but he allowed Abigail's wisdom to redirect him. It is okay. Yeah. Abigail's wisdom to redirect
It redirected David. It redirected and directed David. David alipata directions from Abigail.
Divine justice versus personal vengeance. Abigail reminded David that personal revenge.
Abigail invested.
Na kushow ati unakuwa una remind.
Slow down, Abigail. Slow down. David has already seen you. Slow down.
Abigail reminded David that personal revenge could damage his reputation and future as king.
Yes, he was running away. I think ilikuwa ile time ya Saul.
Oh, yeah. Time. Okay.
Yeah.
Damage his reputation and future as king. Like, don't kill.
Even so, the future.
Yeah. Abigail. Okay, Abigail.
Abigail alipiga mahesabu wewe. Hii random. This is not random.
She was very keen.
Yeah.
She knew what she was doing.
She knew what she was doing. And so is many ladies. They know what they are doing. In fact, if there are people who know what they are doing, my ladies. Ladies know what they are doing. Neno ule alisema TikTok. Ati ako wapi huyu jamaa kuja ni anifundisha hizi vitu personally.
Tikuja uniambie hizi mambo.
Akuja niambia alafu mwingine akakuja akamwambia wewe. Tena akasema ndio nielewe vizuri.
Wewe tunakuona. We see you. We are seeing your comment.
You can spend the whole day in TikTok.
And you will
comments nini? Kwanza site kwa 50 point something
50.
K.
As at today morning it was 53.
53K.
Yeah.
Yes, so ukishinda pale na comments, nilikuwa tunazicheka. Naziangaliaga tunacheka.
People are funny and they are very silly when it comes to these comments. I think we can end it at that. Kama tufanye keys to power.
Wewe ndio host, wewe ndio guest, mimi ndio guest.
Hapana. Hizi keys to power tunaweza acha nazo. Kama unataka unaweza tu DM, tunaweza kutumia notes.
Ama ukuje
tutakufundisha.
Personally tutakufundisha.
Oh God. Okay. Anyway.
Comment of the day.
Wako wapi waniambie hizi mambo. Anyway, thank you so much for everyone who is watching on TikTok from the shorts that we post. And to our fans and our audience on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. This was an amazing law to discuss. A very funny one. With a lot of questions to ask, but yeah, it was an amazing. This is an amazing episode. So yeah, if you've liked it, please hapo kwa thumbs up, patiana thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much. Let's meet again when we discuss the next law, which we do not know which one it is yet. But yeah, let's meet next week again. Bye. Stay safe.
Peace.